All right, so I think we can start now. Okay, so welcome back. This is half of the blog. Well, both like 6 and 6.5 are like one and the same. So I told you what happened, and it's not dramatic. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so. It's just it's been a shock. Um, so today we're gonna talk about why I never want to be like them. And you can see here, I'm here. I'm a dragon. And as I'm talking to you, this is my actual fucking form. And I am 100% serious. So, first, I'm an entrepreneur. And I really identify as such. To me, it's like the best thing ever and the worst thing ever. But, it's who I am. And um, I'm not. I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm equally weird, which is that I don't really fit, and I'm not gonna start into the I'm so quirky. No, it's not that. It's that I thought it was normal actually, but I realized that maybe I'm a bit a weird cookie. Yeah, let's just put it like that. It's a mishmash between mental health issues and maybe just being weird from the get go and all. But I'm special. All right, we're gonna put it like that. I'm special, and not in a very good way. So all my life, I've looked at this etiquette of entrepreneur and at all the people, the people like the one who wear suits and the one that are very professional and the one that are, they're important and people look at them and be like, wow, they're important. They have big watches and they are so fucking cool and sometimes they're bald. Often they're bald and yeah, and they're just so entrepreneur like, like people respect them, or so it seems like they love them, they respect them, or whatever. That's what's in my head. All right. And so me here, I looked at that and I said, oh, well, I'm special, I don't really fit. Like I didn't change my looks, for instance. And I still haven't. I didn't change my look since I was in high school. All right, so I always dressed the same because in high school I got made fun of very very often because I didn't dress as people expected me to dress. It's been I was dressed with cargo pants and like skateboarders sweatshirts or whatever. And that was very weird to the people I was with in high school. So I got bullied a lot because of my appearance. And one girl one day told me we're gonna like do a makeover, and I was like, oh well, yeah, you know what, let's go, because like the like the pain was too much. So I got a makeover. So she bought me like very tightly fitting shirts and slim jeans like that, and a hoodie. Yeah, she bought me she made me buy a hoodie. She's not that kind, fuck that shit. She made me buy a hoodie, and that was about it. All right, so she was like, yeah, we're gonna buy you a whole new dress robe and what wardrobe, whatever shit, same thing. So I got normal and the bullying stopped. But there was kind of they were kind of at the end of the rope because they tried pretty much everything. So they were a bit like, yeah, you're weird anyway, even if you look like a normal person. So all this to say that I didn't change my wardrobe today either, ever. So this wardrobe, like jean sleeves, tight fitting shirt, and hoodies, it's still the exact same thing I wear now, like 15 years older. But I don't I'm not good with clothes, and I just have some. It's not PTSD, but I still look how I was treated poorly when I wore what I wanted to wear, and how things got better when I wore whatever people wanted me to wear. So I just didn't move anything, because what I learned during high school was that if you're trying to be yourself in public, you're gonna get laughed at. So don't be yourself in public, all right? Just try to be normal. All right, don't be a totally different person, but try to look normal when you're doing your groceries, for instance. Don't try to get any reason for people to pick on you, because somehow, like nightmares from high school tells me that, oh wait, hey, everyone's looking at me, everyone thinking I'm weird because I don't dress like the popular girl in 2008. So yeah, so that's like the first step. So of course I look at entrepreneurs and I'm just, oh, I want to be like them. Of course I want to be like them. And in the last couple of weeks I was just like, yeah, I don't look entrepreneurial. I just look like a high schooler. So I'm gonna buy myself some. And I wanted to look like an entrepreneur, but on my own terms. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a shirt, and I'm gonna buy a blazer, and I'm gonna look badass, and I'm gonna look very professional. I'm still gonna keep my jeans though, because fuck that shit. I'm not taking up my jeans. Those pants that looks very uncomfortable. I'm not putting this. But I could put like a shirt with a blazer, and I think it would really help me. So that's pretty much what I've been hunting for like this couple of weeks. And so yeah, I can actually say that I was, and maybe still am in this some sense, a wannabe. I wanted to be exactly like them, have the same clothes, the same, like the attitude I figured they have. Like people who are really like very confident, like people who are on top of their things, that people look up to. So I was like, yeah, I want to be that. And I must say the event yesterday was a big fucking slap in my face, because I because I realized that they were, all right, this is gonna sound pretty harsh. That's my opinion. That's what I'm feeling. Those people, the one that wore suit, not all of them, all right, not all of them. I'm talking about, well, actually, it was all of the organizers. They were all like that. And truth be told, there was not a single entrepreneur in that place. Not a single one. Everyone just like inherited a post, a position, not from their parents, but you're just like employed by a company because you have that or that degree, or because you know that and that person. But you didn't create anything. You didn't create anything. Like, you're not an entrepreneur. You're just not. You're not an entrepreneur. You'd never had to work 7 days a week for no salary, for no pay. You don't get it. And that's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, please tell me in the comments. Like, tell me you're wrong, and like explain to me why. Of course, sometimes there are exceptions. Of course, there are people that have never been entrepreneurs that work their ass off, and they're very good people actually. But they were not there. I'm telling you. Or it's not the organizers. And so I got a bit catapulted into that world yesterday, and I landed, and I did not like it at all. I What I saw was people. Wait a minute. I'm gonna write. There's no signs of intelligence here. That's a bit cruel, but yeah. They were people that were, there are some people that dress like that and have that kind of positions, like director of my ass, or like uh, manager of my dick, or whatever the shit you want. Like, especially, and I don't know why, but especially in marketing, sales, all of these fields, they look like they're written administration, they look management and all this, they look like they are written with like this, the No, there I didn't not draw it. But this kind of people that look the part, that look exactly like you would expect them to, like they have their hair done like properly, they have their makeup but not too whorish. That's horrible to say, like they have the correct amount of makeup, like exactly how you should have it, and yada yada yada. The shoes, which apparently for girls are like super important, because like all the shoes I saw, it was just like ridiculous, and didn't look comfortable, and they didn't look good. All right, they all smell the same, and and I don't know, they just look like they have no personality, like they and you can just and I was a bit about taken aback by this, but they all right, what are they? They're not nice. They're not nice. Like deep down, I'm convinced of one thing: they're not good people. They're just not, because I and that sounds very harsh and very vindictive, but I cannot see how you could be a good person and treat somebody like that. And it's just in the little things, like smiling, doing a fake smile to someone while your eyes look at you, like look at them like they are the fucking biggest piece of shit you've ever seen. This thing is not something a good person does in my book, right? In my book. So I think that they're genuinely not good people. That they and one thing I've noticed about these people, because they're not the only people I've seen of that kind, is that they will always, and I'm gonna write it down because it's important, and I think it's at the core of their personality. Well, yeah, of their character, of who they are. They will always, but like really always, put you down. And you know why they put you down? They put you down to get themselves up. And this is just like the scummiest thing you can do to another human being. Because the reality is that you have no idea what that person is going through. Maybe that person has had a tough day. Maybe it's like the event of their life or of their year. Maybe you don't know. And if you need to put people down to raise yourself up, well, I got some news for you. You're nothing. You're really useless. And if you do that, and you like, if you right now you're listening, you do that and you realize you do that and you feel bad, well, first, yeah, feel bad, because it's, well, I think we all do it sometimes, but it's not cool. And please be aware of when you're doing it and why you're doing it, and stop doing it. You will never really raise yourself up while putting other people down. Never. You know how you will raise yourself up, and that's gonna sound very corny, but it's actually by propping other people up, by helping other people. And if you're not someone that likes to help other people, or well, at least don't try not to hurt them. But those people do both. Like they don't help anyone and they hurt them. And this, my friends, is the worst kind of, well, it's the worst combination you can have, really. And they're they're just like sharks, and that's pretty much insulting to sharks. Like they roam the waters, and it's just so ridiculous. The thing they love most above everything else is status. If you have status, oh god, they will suck your dick all the time. But if you don't, well, you're a piece of shit. And that's just not okay to do. And yeah, and I don't think that what leaders do, I don't think that's what winners do, and most importantly of all, I don't think that these people will ever be happy. I think that happy people don't care about status, they care about what they like, and they care about the people they like. And I think that happy people are aware that some people have it rough. So they take it into account and they're being nicer than those people. Because honestly, I look at those people and I'm genuinely wondering when you come home, do you feel like you've brought some good into that world? Do you feel like the world is better off with you in it? Or do you feel like you only made it worse? And I'm not talking about people, some people are in denial of how nice they are, of how much good they're bringing to other people. Especially, right now, if you're listening and you're suffering from depression or you're just in a low place right now and you're feeling like you don't matter, but just remember this. I'm not talking about you if you're not hurting people. And yeah, I know it's fucked up, it's tough. But I think to go back to those people, I think they will never be happy. And I think that well, first, I'm not too sure that they well, I guess they deserve it because I have someone in my close entourage that is like that. And it's a pity because I don't want to see that person hurt. But they're not happy. They're actually pretty fucking depressed and there's no end in sight for them. And that sucks because I would like them to be happy. I would like them to stop hanging out with toxic people because they're like them. So they're just like putting people down around them. And I don't know. I think I'm gonna stop the video here because it turns into a rant. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, I saw that. Well, I'm gonna bring it back to me a little bit. So I saw all this, and did you know what I did? First, I came home. First thing I did when I came home, I put on my dragon kigu. And that sounds stupid, and that sounds a bit ridiculous, but it's a winter, so it's the dragon. It's the winter, so it's good. It's warm, it's fuzzy. I felt good in it, and I put it in, and I was like, I promise I'll never be like them. I don't, yeah, I don't want to be like them. If you want to be like them, well, go for it. I doubt you'll ever be happy. But that's you. You do you. I do me. But I really felt, and I kid you not, I really did that. I put on my hoodie, my kigu, while repeating constantly, I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be like them. I felt like going into a bath and scrubbing my skin off just to make sure that I didn't drag in any fucking particle of their behavior inside the house, inside my place, or on my skin, or in my personality. It's I still want to be an entrepreneur. And it's been a real slap in the face. I still want to be an entrepreneur, but I'm starting to question a lot of the ways I want to use to get there. Right now, I'm not sure. Do I want to put a suit in public? Do I really want to look like them? Do I want to play their game? I'm not sure. And, but I know I still want to be an entrepreneur. I still want to be an entrepreneur because that's just who I am. And I like it. And, I want to have my own company and hustle culture. I don't know. I don't know if it's part of the problem, but I have no problem of working my ass off 80 hours a week, 100 hours a week, and just like get work done, get my publishing companies, hire people, get it to grow, externalize it, like export it, all this. All this I'm very, very fine with. But I think it's the way to get there. I think the whole networking and being fake and being phony and just like playing a game you don't agree with. I think that's not for me. And I must say I'm a bit lost because I'm not too sure how we'll get there. And I clearly will never be good enough as I am to fit into their little fucking cramped world. I will never. Because as I said, well, I'm a bit weird. And I dress as I dress. And I really don't have the time to learn how to do makeup, how to cut my hair, whatever. I don't care. I just know that I love my craft. And I am good at it. And so, what I'm gonna do, and I got this from an entrepreneur I'm friend with, one of those entrepreneurs that get pissed on all the time because he doesn't look the part, because his parent can barely read. And I think I'm actually gonna follow his philosophy. His philosophy was this: don't give them a choice to recognize you. Be so good at what you're doing that they can't possibly ignore you. They can't do without you. They have to acknowledge that you do fucking exist and that you are a successful fucker. Yeah. And so I think that's the road I'm gonna take. Because if there's even a small chance that I might end up looking like them, sounding like them, or behaving like them in my pursuit for success, it's not worth it. So I think I'm gonna take the hard road and just become a successful fucker. Just like, well, it's a bit cliche, but just like Steve Jobs was a successful businessman with a turtleneck and jeans, and nobody had any comment to give him about how he was dressed, how he talked, or anything like that. So I think, you know what, I'm gonna take the road of Steve Jobs instead of taking the roads of those fucking organizers that look holier than thou all the time and are just despising everyone, including themselves. And I wish you the same. I wish you the same. I hope it. I hope this video helped you. If it did, well, you can support me by just liking the video or sharing it or whatever, comment, subscribing. But I'm telling you, that's not really what's important here. What's important is not to become a piece of shit, propping yourself up while pulling other people down. Have a good evening.